So Neil, I want to ask you, this brings me right to what I wanted to get your thoughts on in this interview, which is, you're someone who I respect greatly in our industry. And I remember meeting you for the first time at Zentrepreneur Dominican Republic 2013 at a very critical juncture in my own personal business life, which was when I was setting down, I spent from 2007 to 2012 as what I considered an SEO guy. All I did was SEO. SEO was my world. It was my life. I was bookmarking. I was Squidoo and I was article marketing. I was blog networking. I had built several dropship e-commerce businesses on the backbone of old school search engine optimization. And then, Penguin, and then Panda, and then Hummingbird. For those of you that don't know, those were Google algorithmic updates that made all this SEO stuff that I had learned sort of, this page rank sculpting and all that sort of not useful anymore. And I then at that juncture in life made the switch to paid amplification. And I kind of have not looked back. I don't teach SEO to people. I don't talk about SEO to people. I still do content marketing, which is my version of SEO. But what you at that time were talking to me about long form content, about how you produce these long form articles that were, ranking for, individual high value keywords. Like, you were still heavy into SEO. And so what I want to ask you is, starting with someone who has no SEO strategy currently, let's start there. Do you still think that do you think there's like a site-wide level of optimization that has to happen, like straight up title tag, meta tag, optimization of different queries on the site and internal linking structure, and then a content marketing strategy on top of that to add value to the site as a base level SEO strategy? Or like, what would you suggest to someone who first level is they don't currently have an SEO strategy, and then we'll ask about someone who already does and what they can optimize. But just base level, if you don't have one, what do you do in today's world? Because I really don't know.
Yeah, so I'm going to share my screen if you don't mind. Let's make this fun. All right. So in the last month, I got roughly 2.3 million unique visitors,
Good
6
Lord.
million visits, and then 20 million page views. This is without ads.
That is wild. So how do I do that?
All right. So the easiest thing, and I'll actually show you some stats on this, right, in a bit. So the easiest thing is I have an app. You can type in a URL. It's called Ubersuggest. It's free. You can type in a URL and it'll give you the estimated traffic of any site or whatever out there. You can look at keywords, top pages, etc. But what I wanted to show you is this is the easiest thing. So you just click on site audit. Again, this is free. I don't even capture an email. Like, straight up, this is just free. So you don't have to put in an email to use it. And it'll tell you everything that's wrong, pages, your score, your load time. And you can be like, all right, let's look at my issues for critical errors. And you can just go into all of them and be like, 31 pages have a low word count. And it'll break them all down and it'll tell you how to fix it.
You need more content on those pages.
Exactly. And it'll tell you like, what is this and how to fix it. And then you can go to warnings and you can do the same thing. 2 pages have duplicate meta descriptions. What is it, right? So what is it and how do I fix it?
Nice.
So it's like, it just breaks down everything you need to fix in priority, from how hard is it to implement to how much traffic will you get by fixing it.
Now, this is your on-site infrastructure, your on-site SEO infrastructure as it exists now, without any additional outside work other than manipulating and editing the current site so that it is better optimized for search engines to both crawl and index for different queries.
Exactly. And this is all free from a tool called just Ubersuggest. Like, you don't have to put in an email, you don't have to pay for anything, you just pop in a URL and it'll tell you what to do. And we started creating this because I have such a huge sales floor that it's too hard to hire every single salesperson to know SEO like the back of their hand. So I just started just creating tools that make their job easier.
That's amazing. And so, okay, so step one, go to Ubersuggest, put your site in there, fix all the errors that you find.
And you'll see the site audit report. So that's the first part of SEO, right? It's just like the lowest hanging fruit. The second part is all about keywords. So like, if I'm trying to target the keyword marketing, and this is super effective. So like, or digital marketing, right? And I use these tactics on my own site. To give you an idea, if I type in digital marketing, I think I'm like number 1 or 2 or something. Here's all the paid listing, and I am the first organic listing.
Wow.
I do that for a lot of terms like online marketing. I'm up there somewhere. I'm number 2. Funny enough, number 1's also my website, although I
Yeah,
sold
quick
it.
sprout.
Technically, I didn't sell it. I gave it away to focus on Neil Patel. But, I was also number 1 and 2. And I even ranked for SEO somewhere, I think, on page 1. Number 1 is Moz, 2 Moz, Land, Google, Wikipedia, then me.
Wow.
So here's a simple thing I do. It's all about finding the right type of keywords, right?
Okay.
So the way I find the right type of keywords is, one, you can just type in keywords like digital marketing or whatever you want to target. It'll tell you the volume, how difficult it is, if you want to pay for it.
And how are you estimating that AdWords CPC?
We get it from AdWords.
You just go and check. How much does this cost?
I lose around 200 grand a month on the tool.
Wow.
So here's my process. I go and I look for keywords, and I just click view all keywords, and it'll show me everyone who's ranking, how many links they have, their domain score, social shares, etc. So I'll go find keywords, and it gives me solid metrics. When I mean solid, as in non-opinionated metrics. Like the average web page that ranks in the top 10 has 435 backlinks and a domain score of 49. So I know, is it going to be easy for me to get 435? Is it going to be hard? Because I can have a rough idea of how many links I have. So I'll just go through here and I'll find keywords. As you can see, there's like 500 suggestions here. Here's some other related keywords that post from our database. This has 30,000 recommendations. And then I'll look for like questions that people are asking in the digital marketing arena, right? Like, is digital marketing important? Why digital marketing is important? Is digital marketing the future, right? Also look for comparison-based keywords, digital marketing versus traditional. This works more so for product-based stuff. So if you're e-commerce, like Nike shoes versus Reebok shoes, or MailChimp versus ConvertKit, right?
Right.
And then the last step when I'm trying to create content, after I find some keywords that are I look for keywords that are high in volume, high in CPC, and I want to go after keywords that have a low SEO difficulty. So that's abbreviation of SD. It's like digital marketing company has a ton of, or has a high CPC, volume's not bad, low SEO difficulty, which means people are typing that in, me being an agency, probably a good keyword to go after because it probably converts well if people are paying $17 a click.
Right.
And the way you do this is you just create content. So there's a content ideas section of the tool, and it'll show you all the content in per country, so you can break it down by whatever country or language or region you want. Technically, you can break all the reports down by that. And you can you want to look for articles that are somewhat popular because it's breaking it down to social shares, as well as articles that have decent search traffic, as well as a lot of backlinks. So like, let's see, sometimes you got to dig through to find the right ones. Take some time to pull from the database. So like here, I like this one because the estimated visits is 1,000 a month. They have 41 backlinks. This is the 10 essentials tips for B2B marketing success in a digital economy, right? So I'd be like, this isn't bad. I can potentially write on something like this. I can see that it's already ranking for a lot of terms. And now I have terms to target for that's related to that main keyword, as well as I can reach out to all, I can start targeting some of these keywords. And if I can rank higher than them, I'll get more traffic. I can also go after all the sites that are linking to them and try to hit them up saying I got a better article than them and try to convince them to link to me. This is how I do SEO in a nutshell.
Still to this day, long form, value rich content and essentially backlinks and on-site interlinking, page rank sculpting structure or some version of that. I'm talking to you from 2012 SEO, by the way. I haven't, you know what I mean? My world was SEO for 7 years, and it was deep SEO, and then I've not thought about it since. So everything that I'm saying is what I remember. So I'm, correct me if I'm not.
No, you pretty much got the concepts right. And, but now there's this tools that automate all of it. So like I can put in a domain link, like a competitor or my own site like Neil Patel, and I can see everyone who links to them, right? And like, this is just outreach that I can do. And what I
Yeah.
love doing is I'll go find a competitor, and this works in e-commerce all day long. And in e-commerce, funny enough, it works even better because there's just not as much competitors for SEO. Everyone wants to do the paid stuff right now, especially
Right.
with Facebook ads. Like I can go take my competitor like Moz. I would do this for e-commerce site, whatever it may be. I can see who links them and outreach to them. But even better, I can just click on top pages, and you do this for any e-commerce site. You can see your competitors, their top pages, their backlinks, how many
Hmm.
visits these pages are getting, how many social shares they have. It'd be like, oh, Moz's Beginner's Guide to SEO. Here are all the keywords they're ranking for. I just click view all, and I'll be like, sadly, it's free, but sometimes it takes a second to load because it's just pulling so many keywords from a database. Other rank for like SEO, what is SEO, marketing SEO, what is that website SEO optimized for SEO, SEO optimizing. Like they just have all the keywords that they just keep getting traffic for, and you can keep going next, 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 or export them. And
Now let
again,
me
like,
ask you. Let me ask you this. So just to you're super high level at this. So I'm going to break it down for someone who may not be as sophisticated. What we've talked about is step one, optimize your website itself with on-site SEO factors, which Uber suggests will tell you what is broken and tell you how to fix it from the site audit version. Step
yep,
two is go through and look at keywords that you're already ranking for and keywords that competitors are ranking for in the keyword traffic analyzer. See which ones have high value and low competition, and create long form value rich articles. You can find ideas for these long form value rich articles in the content ideas suggestion of your tool Uber Suggest. And
yep.
then, and now I'm going a level, which you have not said this, but I want to just make sure I've got this right, is the factors that will go into that ranking or not have to do with both social suggestions, i.e. shares and activity on social, backlinks to that particular article and your actual website itself. Because if your site, your main site has a bunch of people linking to it, then that power is distributed to the pages on that site. And if you're interlinking on your own site properly, you're going to filter some of that power into these pages that you're creating. And then let me ask you this. Where does paid amplification fit into this? Does paid amplification fit into it in the sense of you write a long form article that you want to rank for a given query that you've used Uber Suggest to find, and then you do some page post amplification or page post engagement ads to, amplify that particular article to your target audience, which then gets it social signals, which then support it in ranking? Or how does paid fit in?
Yeah, you don't have to do paid at all. So easiest way to do paid if you want to help, you just boost a post on Facebook, and that'll give it a little bit more legs and it'll run faster.
Well, I just want to say that sadly for myself, what I have been convinced about in this interview is that I need to refocus on my search engine optimization efforts, because basically my viewpoint up to now has been like, look, I create really high quality content. I don't necessarily optimize it for a given keyword, but I have good on-site structure and it will just rank. And I use it mostly to email my members, to run ads to my members, to use in my automation sequences, pre-purchase, post-purchase. I use it as like cross-selling and community engagement, and I don't so much worry about its search engine value. But I can see from this that, like, if I just did one level deeper, it would be way more valuable to my brand of choosing individual key queries for each post to rank for, as well as doing interlinking. And there's just another layer that I could add to my already very healthy content marketing efforts that would make it more valuable from the search engines, for the search engines and for SEO in general for my site.